And I want you to think very long and hard about where we all are right now spiritually. It's very important to understand the spiritual nature of mankind and the spiritual nature of those you associate with, because spiritually, I think, in all sincerity, we are troubled, and we are promised that peace will come when we realize that a well-controlled culture keeps the vampires away. And the truth that escapes us is that the vampires are actually creating the very prison to keep us captive in order to have their blood feast. We've been told that the leadership of this country, the United States, is against human destruction. But even though we say we're against human destruction, we have to remain loyal. And we have to support the wars which result in our own destruction. It's sad but true, and people are compelled to do this. I had the discussion with a colleague of mine, Steve Herman, yesterday, where he was discussing about support for the troops and how it's sort of a catch-22 for him. And it's philosophically challenging for him to support them. Which brings up another thing. Is it guilt that's binding us right now? Is there some cause that we've missed? I mean, we all say, hey, we're in this together and that no one is without faults. But the lie is that we all have something to hide. We all are sinners. We're being told that we're worthless. We're being told that we're responsible for all of the pain and sorrow that's in the world. We're being told this. We're being told, hey, you know, the reason why there's global warming and problems with global sustainability is you. The reason for all this terrorism is you and your thoughts and your cynicism and your conspiracy theories. I mean, we all live with a fear that we'll be pinned down with the idea that maybe we've committed an act of murder or committed an act of treason. Or we've said something that was hateful or callous or misinterpreted. That's why we have political correctness. I mean, we all have this fear of being found out. And I don't mean that you've done something really terrible, but we all have our little quiet, skeletons in our closet, and we're afraid that they're going to be outed, and that's what keeps us loyal to something. It's almost like a spiritual blackmail. And I think we need to realize that this spiritual blackmail is called blood cement. Atrocities and the deaths of our perceived enemies and the burning of their cities bind us in spirit. And it's kind of sickening, but it's true. The frightening part is that now we are seeing celebrations in the streets of all countries, including ours, when perceived enemies are snuffed out either by drones, armies, or tactical teams, militarized police. It's being done because Dominion is a cause célèbre. Celebrate the Dominion. Celebrate the armies that are here to go door to door and force us out of our homes at gunpoint. It's all for a good cause. We must give in to these frequencies of submission. If everyone can agree that atrocities are necessary to maintain dominion, then we all share the same blame if it's found out that we've been part of some evil game in the first place. The leader of a gang involves all of the gang members in a crime. This way they will not question him or betray him in order to save their own skins. Hitler had the same philosophy. His killing of 6 million Jews was blood cement. The German people all knew. Some knew merely on a subconscious level this was happening. They supported Hitler in his actions against the Jews. They secretly worried, though, that the blood was also on their hands for enjoying the spoils of war. All the resources left behind by the extraction and murder and the burning of 6 million souls. We're doing the same thing. The spoils of war are what? Oil? spoils of war are what? Opium? The spoils of war, the riches of gold that we took from the Iraqi museums. You know what's frightening? Is this blood cement, this Blutkite, is what it was called in the times of Hitler. We are in that same position, and that's what's frightening, is we all somehow secretly wonder if these wars that we have fought have created a karmic blowback, and that we are responsible for this, and that by all of the atrocities that have occurred in the world, we are bound together for one cause, and that is to protect ourselves from being outed as being part of the criminal landscape. And your government, the evil part of the government is, they're like devils that have made deals with you, and they'll come back and ask you to pay up for selling your soul. And that's the creepy part. And that's why I think we need to guard ourselves from being part of the grooming process, because when people are groomed, they'll learn that with all the death that we've created, the blowback of death will take you away. Remember that poem, first they came for this person and first they came for that person, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't one of them? Well, guess what? We are all one of them. And we all need to speak up. I've looked at history. I've seen how the grooming takes place. And there have been countless examples to look over and see. And I'm just afraid that we're going to have to add another leader to that list of those who have groomed their peoples into following them blindly, even though they've given them nothing but atrocities to somehow gather together and bind themselves together over. What edifying spiritual event in this country has brought us all together for the progression of this country? What? Has there been anything? Can you name it? Please name it so that I can stop sounding like a doomsayer. Tell me the spiritual event that this presidency, or that any presidency for the past, 16 years, has given us. What spiritual event can we all say Americans were a part of, where we have actually progressed rather than, pardon the expression, devolved? We're being bound by atrocities. We are finding commonality in criminality. They are setting us up for the Faustian bargain. They are opening the frequencies and channels to commune with demons. The satanic conspiracy is very real, and I don't sound so crazy pointing it out to all of you. Now, do you believe it's there? Or do you think I'm crazy, and I need to adjust my tinfoil hat a little bit, because I've lost my mind? 888-673-3700. That's 888-673-3700. Happy birthday, Illuminati. It seems the controls are working. We'll be back.